I want to start with a mistake that I've made because I want you to see it clearly before I explain it. I drove 30 minutes to go see a woman I knew I should have walked away from. See, I had to leave the country, and on the day that I left the country, she went quiet. Later along the line, I understood why, but it still presented itself as an excuse. And a few days later, the message came through. She loved me, she missed me. So, me being me, I went to go see her. And here's the thing, the whole way, I know I shouldn't have been going. I could see the pattern running in real time, right in front of me. I want you to sit with that for a moment. Not the man who never slips, but the man who can see patterns clearly and steps towards them regardless. Because if you've ever done that and you've known better, but you've done it anyway, this video's for you. This is the one skill nobody in the whole space is actually teaching you. And it's not actually how to stop slipping, it's how to return fast. You see, the pull wears the face of what you want. Here's what nobody actually tells you about the old self coming back. It actually shows up looking like a bad habit, and nobody struggles to walk away from something that's actually bad for them. That's easy. The pull that actually beats you is the one that you want the most. Love, a future, a fantasy of a life you've built with someone. And that's why you don't catch it, because you're not actually looking at the pattern, because the pattern feels like the best thing that's happening to you right now. It's wearing the face of what you want. You'll defend it, you'll drive 30 minutes to go see it. You'll ignore everything that it showed you, because on the surface it doesn't look like a relapse. It looks like love. The hardest pattern to catch is never the ugly one, it's the beautiful one. Now let me explain to you how long it used to take me. Years ago, I broke up with the girl that I loved at the time, and 3 days after that happened, I saw her all glammed up, getting in another guy's car, and this shattered my heart. And at that moment, my life just crumbled. I took her back, and I went back. But things were never the same. We even worked in the same environment. Every time I saw her car or drove past her workspace, it would make me so emotional, and I would just keep reliving that heartbreak over and over again. I physically couldn't let go. I tried to create boundaries, and I really didn't understand why. A year passed of me repeating the same emotional responses to my environment. And then one day, a voice said to me, "It's time." So I walked into her workspace, and she was there, working, and I felt nothing. And at that point, I felt liberated. It was like finally the pattern was starting to lose its grip. A whole year it took. That was the cost of return. That was the cost to understand the pattern that was being displayed. Hold that number for a moment. A whole year. Now let's go back to the woman from the start of the video. Same pain, merging with someone, building a fantasy, staying in an environment where I knew I didn't belong. It was the same thing as the second woman, but in a new country, wearing a new face. But something was different this time. I actually didn't clock it till a bit later. Not with her, but with the pattern. I still stepped forward. I drove to go see her. That was the miss, and I'll own up for that miss. But the moment she told me she was leaving me, I didn't spiral. I just observed, and I said, today is the day. I really took my time with this, and I made sure that I prioritized all of my tasks before I even dealt with removing her. So once my jobs were done, I sat down calmly, and I just started to remove all contact, all photos. I left it on unread, and it was clean. There was nothing more to be said. The first time, it took me over a year, but the return was a fraction of the time. The gap, an entire year down into days. And this is the thing that I wanted to talk about, because the gap is not luck. It's not that I'm colder now. It's not that I don't care less, because I do care. Leaving her on unread was the hardest but best decision for my peace. Otherwise, it would cost me more time and attention that I had already given her. The gap isn't the absence of pain. The gap is a skill, and it's built by you. So let me say it plainly, because this is the whole video. Following through is never about slipping. Everybody in the space is selling you a fantasy that if you find the right morning routine, the right discipline, you'll stop missing. You won't. I didn't. I still drove 30 minutes to see a woman that I shouldn't. The skill here is never missing, but the speed of the return. One miss, fine. Return fast. Never miss twice. And that's it. And here's the part you should see how every mistake that you've made, the reps count. Every time I went through that pattern and came back, the gap got shorter. A year became months, months become days, now days become minutes. And it's not because the pull got weaker, it's because I learned how to return faster. Every time the pattern had me coming back, I was training that exact muscle that would allow me to return faster each time. Your past failures are not proof that you can't do it. If you come back from any of them, even a year later, that is still a wreck. You've already started building the mechanism. So now let me turn this to you. You're going to step forward when the pattern emerges. Even knowing that you shouldn't be driving 30 minutes or you shouldn't be around that person, that's not failure. Let me be clear about something, because the shame around this is what keeps you stuck for years. Slipping is not the failure. Staying is the failure. Not returning is a failure. 2 misses without the return is failure. So stop measuring yourself by if you slip and start measuring the one thing that actually matters: how fast you can return. That's your number, and it gets faster, I promise you, because I've actually lived the whole curve of it. It went from years to months to days, and sometimes I can even transmute it in minutes with the same pattern that used to own me for almost my entire life. The reason I could leave her on unread and walk straight back into my own life comes down to one word: detachment. Not coldness detachment. It's just knowing that everything outside of me is actually a bonus. Everything is an extension of who I am. It's not actually the source of it, because the source comes from within. And all I really need is me. And yes, sometimes it does get lonely, but it's the price that you pay for your peace and your solitude. It's what happens when you spend basically all of your time alone. And over time, you learn to be with yourself and you learn to be okay with whatever happens. And that's what the pain actually built inside me. I ran from women, my problems, countries, thinking that the problem was outside of me. And the day I saw it, I stopped being someone who fails and became the person who returns fast. And this is the exact thing that I teach, because it was the thing that actually got me out of the situations. If you know the one pattern in your life right now, the one wearing the face of what you want, and you're done letting the return take years, it's exactly the work that I do one-on-one with you. The link's below. The skill is the speed of the return.